Well, this January, there's a new Game of Thrones spinoff, and Game of Thrones is one of my favorite shows. Uh, so let's do a tier ranking and rank these from worst to best. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Joey's Movie Blog. I'm your host, Joey Strandberg, and I love Game of Thrones so much that I got that nice, sexy 4K box set, and I have Arya here, who is my favorite character. And yeah, so uh, let's get into this. So the way this is organized is I'm just going to select what my number one is and so far and so forth. So let's start with the worst season. And there's no competition. It is season 8. So season 8, I think, had some good ideas and some really bad ideas, and both of the good and bad ideas were executed horribly. The biggest issue is the 6 episodes, and they were really rushing through plot lines. It's like we start off and like Theon is rescuing Yara, and normally in seasons, this is the type of thing that takes a bit longer, but like they just resolve this in one, and there's parts of the long night that are cool, but it was overall pretty let down of a battle, and then what they did with Daenerys just felt so out of left field for me, and then the finale was just like Bran has the throne, and it's like, wait, what? And yeah, I just think that this season was a major letdown for a show of this caliber. Next up at number 7, I'm gonna put season 5. When it comes to season 5, I think it starts off a little bit weak, but the last few episodes of this season are incredible. Hardhome is one of the greatest battles in Game of Thrones, and it is in my top 3 episodes. There's just some plot lines that really slow this down. I think seeing Arya training is cool, but it's like we take so long to get where we need to go that it does drag out, but I think that the ending to this season was great. But I also wasn't crazy about those religious dudes. I hated that arc so much. Number 6, I am going to put season 7. So when it comes to season 7, I still think this is a really good season, but I think that this is where you could tell that they needed more episodes. It's like, as much as I enjoyed this season, I just felt like things were rushed. It's like, we have to travel, and it's like all of a sudden we're teleporting everywhere. It's like, what the hell is going on? But I think the stuff with the Stark family is great. I love the scene at the beginning of the season where Arya avenges the Red Wedding. I think I think that Littlefinger's death scene was great. Just wish that there was more episodes. And then next up is season 3. Keep in mind, these next 5 seasons, I think, are some of the best seasons of TV show, and season 3 is a very iconic season. I think that the Red Wedding uh, was a really dark sequence, and really sad to see Robb Stark go out the way he did. And yeah, wow, this season. And the stuff of Jon and Ygritte, I think, is great. Yeah, I really like this season a lot. Next up is season 1. So when it comes to season 1, at first I was like, I don't know if I'm a fan of this show or not, but as soon as the show just keeps getting better and better as it goes along, and I'm glad that it took a risk with killing off Sean Bean's character, even though killing off Sean Bean is basically the thing to do in Hollywood, and introduced us to a fantastic world. Next up, we got season 2. Yeah, season 2 is great. I think the stuff with I think this was really the season of Robb Stark, and Tyrion really stole the show. Arya and Tywin, such a fascinating arc, and then I just think that Tyrion really showed why he is one of my favorite characters. And then next up, these two go back and forth, but for now, I'm going to put season 6 at number 2. I love everything about this season. I know some people aren't the biggest fan, but I love stuff like, I think that all the arcs are really satisfying. We get to see Jon Snow fight in the Battle of the Bastards, which the Battle of the Bastards is my favorite episode of the entire show, and it's really incredible what they did with the season. Sansa really comes into her own this season and proves why. And Sansa was kind of like on her for the first few seasons, but this season made her a top tier Game of Thrones character. And then, of course, we got Arya with her assassin training and her killing Walder Frey for the Red Wedding. It's really satisfying to me. And this could have been the last season. It feels like a season finale, and I'm going to tell my kids that the season 6 finale is how the show ended. Next up, season 4. There's not much else I could say. This and Breaking Bad have the best 4th season of any TV show. We get introduced to Pedro Pascal, who we all know as the Mandalorian, and of course playing Joel as Oberyn Martell, and he has the most shocking death scene I've ever seen in a TV show, where it's like his head just gets crushed like a watermelon, and I'm like, oh. And then of course we finally get to see that little bitch Joffrey die, which is really satisfying to watch. Arya and the Hound, again, I think I love what they did with the season, and Arya, this season is basically why Arya is my favorite character. I love the way I love her and the Hound's relationship. Brienne of Tarth, who's of course Captain Phasma, she had a pretty cool fight with the Hound. I think that the battle at the Wall is amazing. Sad to see Ygritte go, but And then my favorite episode this season is the Laws of God and Men, where Tyrion has his massive meltdown and talking about how he's not going to get the justice he deserves, so he demands a trial by combat. Really great stuff, and this is my favorite season of Game of Thrones and one of my favorite seasons of TV. Thank you guys so much, as always, for watching. I have a complete Blu-ray collection, all movies I've seen in 2021 ranked. So much more content. Click that like button and subscribe, and stay tuned.